that you had the sister plus, and I got to talk about Takaya Young, the pregnant woman that was murdered. I have to talk about her. That situation with the cop murdering her, the sister going on, this other woman, with the BrickGate thing, getting hit upside the face with a brick, and I heard people saying all kind of different things. I heard people saying that a few years ago she pulled something off, had a GoFundMe, and she was trying to raise money for that and this and that. Of course, nobody wants to see anybody, man or woman, get hit upside the head with a brick. So, but we're gonna cover that as well too. I see my man Ray up in the spot as well too, man. So shout out to all my people. DJ, what's going on, man? How you doing? It's been a little minute. I see Ray up in here too. Ray, I saw the post you had about your cousin, man, and that just show you how time flies. Condolences to you and your family off of that tragedy as well too. I'm glad to have you up in this spot, Ray. What's up, DJ?
Ain't much, man. Hey, condolences to you, brother Ray. I didn't know about the family, man. You know what I mean? Hope all is well. You need something from a distance if I can help. You already know the number, bro. Hey, ain't nothing going on but the rent. You know what I'm saying? Like the song go. But at the end of the day, hey, man, we paying these bills. You know what I mean? Through this conversations we be having. So with that being said, rest in peace to that sister Kiya Young. That officer wanted to kill her in the story. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in their right mind would stand in front of a car when you know damn well, jokers, you could just step on the gas and just be out. You know what I'm saying? So why would you even put yourself in that type of harm's way? You know what I'm saying? But I just came off a conversation about how white folks love to spin the narrative on stuff. They'll put the drugs in our communities, but also write the laws to say, hey, you can't pump drugs here. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. BrickGate, I don't even know what to say about that at this point with, the back and forth, this, that, and third. Term limits, definitely. Mitch McConnell, he an NPC, as the young kids that do video games nowadays be saying, non-playable character. When they freeze up like that, oh, you in the NPC, your PlayStation froze. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start having some term limits for these goddamn politicians. And the black on black myth, yeah, I just came off that conversation too. It is what it is, a myth. There you go. But what's good, though?
Hey, that's what it is. That's why we're gonna get it in tonight and whatnot. So I see some of the fam is already popping up in here as well too. Shout out to Original. Shout out to Diane. Like I said, I see a bunch of the people, our folks coming up in here as well too. So shout out to all you guys. We back. We back in the swing of things. The hurricane kind of had a little, you know, like I said, I don't want to make it too bad because we have some people that actually, I mean, that's going to be without lights here in Florida, for a couple of weeks, unfortunately. But uh, fortunately, we didn't get hit with the brunt of it. Lost lights for a little bit. Schools was out for a little while, but everything is back into the swing of things, and I'm glad to get this thing rolling. For my people over there in YouTube land, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and comment on tonight's broadcast. And yeah, man, let's go ahead and get it, man. Let's start off with the sister Takaya Young. Another tragedy.
Put your links in the YouTube too. Don't forget, bro.
What's that?
Put your links in the YouTube description. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. It's already up in the actual articles. Let me. This is from News One, guys. It's curator Newstoter.com platform. I want to touch up on this real quick, and I know all you guys have been hearing about this for the past week or so. Tragedy: the young sister was only 21 years of age, pregnant. Not only is she dead, her child, her unborn child, didn't get a chance to even see this world. So, our condolences, prayers, thoughts with that family. Let me go ahead and start. Takaya Young funeral details announced as Ohio cop who killed pregnant mother avoids charges. A funeral has been scheduled for the young black unarmed pregnant mother of two shot and killed by a white police officer in Ohio who approached her with his gun drawn over the nonviolent suspicion of petty theft before firing the fatal shot through the windshield of a car she was driving late last month. The homegoing service for Takaya Young, 21, is expected to be held this week, while the cop who killed her, reportedly identified as Connor Grubb, avoids any semblance of accountability, including criminal charges. Young was killed August 24th, as shown on the edited body cam video footage that was made public last Friday, more than 2 weeks after her death in a supermarket parking lot in suburban Columbus, where she was allegedly approached over unfounded accusations of stealing a bottle of liquor. After refusing cops' orders to get out the car, Young, apparently in disbelief that the officer wielded his gun, asked Grubb if he was going to shoot me. before the fatal shot was fired in front of the Kroger in the town of Westerville. Video footage shows Grubb standing directly in front of Young's car and aiming his gun at her. As her car crept forward, not accelerated as the Blendon Township Police Department characterized it, Grubb shot his gun once through the car windshield, hitting Young and apparently killing her instantly, all because she allegedly stole a bottle of liquor, claims that an eyewitness later came forward to refute. Young's death has sparked a series of protests, including one on Sunday, during which demonstrators peacefully reiterated calls for Grubb's firing and arrest. Grubb has not been officially identified by the Blandon Township Police Department thanks to Marcy's Law, which allows local enforcement agencies to keep cops' identities secret. But Young's family named him in the statement following the release of the body cam video footage on Friday. They called for him to be charged with the death of Young's unborn child, too. Having viewed the footage in its entirety, it is undeniable that Takaya's death was not only avoidable, but also a gross misuse of power and authority, the statement from Young's family attorney, Sean Walton, said in part. As if the pain of losing Takaya isn't enough, we must grapple with the knowledge that her unborn daughter was also robbed of her life in this hateful act. As of Tuesday, both officers involved in the shooting were reportedly placed on administrative leave. Whether Young should have complied with police requests is seemingly a question that should be asked only if it's answered by Grubb. Why he felt the need to unholster and shoot his gun over an alleged petty theft by someone not posing a mortal threat to the officers, Walton said. Young's family lamented that her young sons would now be forced to grow up without their mother in their lives because Grubb resorted to using lethal force when he had a number of other choices for how to proceed without deadly implications. This incident goes beyond obvious policy violations that occurred. After seeing the video of her death, this is clearly a criminal act, and the family demands a swift indictment of this officer for killing of both Takaya and her unborn daughter. The statement added, we stand united with those in our community and beyond in pursuit of justice. A retired 30-year police veteran wrote a OOP in the Columbus Dispatch explaining how Grubb's actions are not only egregious displays of incompetence but also potentially criminal acts. I would not characterize the actions of an officer who fired the round, killing the 21-year-old pregnant mother and her unborn daughter as excessive use of force because at no point in this account was force justified, wrote Jeff Winiger, who was formerly of the Los Angeles Police Department with a background in investigating officers' use of lethal. What I observed was nothing short of violent, potentially criminal act perpetuated on nothing more than an uncooperative individual. It was in context that Young's funeral has been scheduled to take place on Thursday, September 7th in Columbus. The Marlon Gray Funeral Home announced on its website the services for Takaya Monet Yvette Young are scheduled for Thursday at 2 p.m. at the Church of Christ at 1889 Genovese Ave in Columbus. The visitation is set to begin at 1 p.m. The funeral announcement, remember Young as having a captivating personality and zest for living as someone who found joy in simple pleasures of life, dedicating her time to activities such as cooking, dancing, and creating TikTok videos. A vibrant spirit and prankster nature filled every room she entered, spreading laughter and light to all around her. Rest in peace to this sister. Tragedy and heart goes out to her and her family. And hopefully this won't be just another issue swept underneath the rug. We already see the way the media is trying to spin it, and at no point in time was this officer ever in danger of his life. At no point in time this officer had to go ahead and shoot through the damn car and kill a pregnant woman, but he did it. So hopefully, and there's really no amount of justice because even if this dude goes to jail, he just killed two people. He killed the mother and he killed her unborn child as well too. So I'm not exactly sure how they're gonna try to spin it. We know so many times that these cops they constantly get put on paid leave. They get put on administrative leave. It's almost like they're on a vacation. It's like, hey, I've done something against the law. Go ahead and let me get a few days off. Give me pay, and then I'll come back and I'll resume. Whether I'm with this department or I'm with another department, I'll still be in law enforcement. I'll still be getting paid, and nothing really is gonna happen to me. So we definitely got to keep our eyes on this situation here. Like I said, this has been in the news for the past week or so. And it's crazy how we just, we really just start hearing about this stuff more and more and more. Sometimes it takes like a month or two for you really to actually hear about some of these incidents, and then once you hear about it, then it just spreads like wildfire. So definitely condolences to that young woman, 21 years of age, barely an adult herself, and then, like I say, her unborn daughter doesn't even get a chance to experience life as well too. So a complete tragedy. Our hearts go out to her and her family, and rest in peace, sister. Let me go ahead and touch up on this situation with the actual BrickGate. Now, DJ, I know you've been on Twitter definitely more than I have been lately. Okay, I've been hearing all kind of different things. Like I've been hearing that the woman with this whole BrickGate thing was a Somalian woman. I heard that she had some old videos where she was dissing black people, black Americans. Some people trying to say that the guy that actually hit her wasn't a black American; it was a Haitian dude or whatever. Exactly what in the world is going on with this situation right here? Apparently, and this is from Black Enterprise. So I'm gonna touch up on it. Apparently, there was dudes around when this woman was actually assaulted. Then it became a whole situation of, hey, black men ain't protecting this and that, and black men are this and that or whatever. So it just went from the guys that was there at the actual incident to actually framing it as all black men, basically. So let me cover this real quick, and Reps, I'm gonna get to what you said on YouTube as well too. This is from Black Enterprise. It says, "Woman hit with brick for not giving her number to a cat calling man." Very short article. It says a woman is going viral on social media for her extensive injuries after a man threw a brick at her for not giving out a number. The woman's video taken from her stay at the hospital showed her breaking down in tears as she explained the story. The footage was reshared online by the tabloid The Neighborhood Talk. "What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?" shared the injured woman. "I've never done anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number and I said no. And he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, 'What are you going to do?' The bystander," she said, "watch the man not only throw the brick at her but flee the scene by car." From a hospital room, the battered woman was clearly at a loss for how so many people could have allowed the incident to unfold. She continued bashing the assaulted and the men who she believed thought this behavior was acceptable. "How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women," she said. "The cat calling of women going about their business by unrelenting man is a never ending problem that is leading to women facing more severe actions against them. The bystanders have also not been reprimanded, but they are part of the problem since they did not intervene. The woman's injuries include a knot that takes over half of her face. She is currently seeking treatment in hopes that the swelling lessens. As for the man who threw the brick, his whereabouts are currently unknown." According to the Shade Room, the incident occurred in Houston. Newsweek wrote that it had reached out to the Houston Police Department for more information, but had yet to hear anything back. Yikes. God damn, she got hit in the head with a damn brick. Has anybody seen like because I haven't like I've seen like little videos of the chick and whatnot, but like how swole up was her face that she got hit with this brick? Does anybody know? And I know we got some folks up in the space, and I know y'all been in some other spaces as well too. So definitely, like I say, feel free to come up here and actually share anything you got. Reef said, "A brick girl is Somalian and has a history of filming herself slap men for likes, and the guy that hit her with a brick was Haitian. These are not Black Americans. These are immigrants that come from stoning backgrounds and give Black Americans a bad name. They stoning folks like you talk about stoning like back in the Bible when they used to stone like women and stuff. Like they got the bricks and they stone and actually literally stoning. They come from stoning backgrounds. Yeesh." Like you said, yeah, t-shirt. Like, do they literally still? I guess like over there in the Middle East or some of these countries, they still literally like stone folks. Yeah.
Hey, the Muslim sister Deborah, I think she was from Nigeria. They stoned her to death for saying why we always got to talk about Allah versus talking about school with students. So a bunch of male students from the same school went over to the female dormitory, dragged her out of her dormitory, and stoned her to death, bro. Burned her body up and everything. This was just only a year or two ago.
RD said that this. She said that he said Brickface already raised thousand or three. I'm sorry, $30,000 in donations. She already raised
Yeah.
$30,000 in donations. And listen, I don't want anybody in here to think that we justifying. They're definitely not justifying any woman being hit upside her face with a brick. So we just want to go ahead and let me just put that out there. I'm not justifying anybody. You take a brick and hit anybody upside the head with it, because I mean that is a way of killing somebody. So let me just go ahead and put that out there. I don't want anybody to think that we're justifying this or that or whatever. Like I said, I know that they were saying that the woman was a Somalian woman and this and that. And then I saw it, and from the little bit of time I have been able to get on Twitter, I've been seeing people trying to, like, it almost became almost about what ethnic group you belong to and stuff like that. Because people were saying, well, somehow what Black Americans got caught up in the actual in this situation. They started talking about Black Americans, and then Black Americans basically started saying, well, this was us. We didn't have nothing to do with this. Like, what exactly? What was what, DJ?
Well, pretty much as you said it, and I'll try to find a video because we was in brother Black Maturity. Shout out to him. Social you already know. We had a space about it last night. I guess he heard some cold shit in another space, and he wound up starting a space last night. So we didn't get off that live until about 6 this morning, bro. You feel what I'm saying? And Jokers was still in there talking. You know what I mean? I was tired, so I dropped out. But it was just one male, black. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what his background is as far as ethnicity goes, but he said, "Hey, look, I was there. As far as being a witness, and that she pretty much deserved it. And if it were to happen again, and it's the same person, I would do the exact same thing, not intervene to save this woman because she's a troublemaker, a shit starter, troublemaker, whatever. You know what I mean? And she had what's coming to her. So this is coming from an eyewitness account. You look at other videos of this chick's TikTok. She going around slapping men, white men, black men, blaming black men. She seemed to be a Somali rapper or something like that. Other thing is too, why were you in a club with a mask on? You know what I'm saying? That was real weird. We was talking about that. If you go look at the GoFundMe, why? What do any of y'all ever remember? No matter how old or young you are as a Black American, taking pictures eating watermelon. So if you go look at a GoFundMe page, why did they decide to put a picture of her smiling like a backbone cone? You know what I'm saying? And you eating a slice of watermelon. What does that tell us?
Yeah, that's magpie. That's magpie behavior right there.
Yeah. So you add that into the mix. Um, you know, a lot of folks obviously, we jump into conclusions because of the situation at hand. Like, even though I was over my aunt's house last night, and I'm showing her like, yo, look at this girl that got hit with a brick. She was real upset about it. But once I broke down a lot of this shit to her, she was like, hey, well, fuck it, it is what it is. And shit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like you said, we ain't condoning that she got hit with a brick, but as the new saying goes, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, fam. So it's like, you can't go around doing this prank shit, for YouTube likes and all this other shit. They're not paying you anything. You see what I'm saying? And we also understand too, and this is my real one concern as a Black man that's a Negro American of the community. So my concern is that I already know that couldn't have been a Black man that actually did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm still kind of upset that a man in general did that, because I felt like if I was there, we would have just had to fight. Fuck it. Because I've been in situations where I've had to defend myself against a woman. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. I've seen other Black men that may have to defend themselves in some ways against a woman. And now I mean defend, hey, just get you off me. I don't have to pick up a brick or pick up my hand and knock you over the side of your head to make you get the point. You know what I'm saying? But this is what these other demographics of Black exactly do, as you said, Todd. They stone a woman without even thinking about it. So the
Wait, let me just say, I didn't say that. That's what they said on YouTube. So let me just say that.
Well, no, it's no allegedly on it. It's true. You know what I'm saying? There's no allegedly on that. And we ain't against the Pan Africans, but we are against them tether thugs. You know what I'm saying? That is the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never pick up my hand or a brick and strike a woman across her face. You know what I'm saying? because I know my strength and my worth as a man. That shit ain't worth my time to be in that type of fucking situation. You feel what I'm saying? Most black men that deal with our black women, yeah, y'all might be rah-rahing in our faces, but all right, sister, you got that. You win. I don't want no problem. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't think it was really solely about her not wanting to give a man her number. You feel what I'm saying? Because like, who the fuck really does that? But there are instances up here in New York City, and this is tether gang for the most part. Again, bro, it'd be black women, no matter where they're from in New York. Hey, sure, let me get your number. You don't want to give it to any these dudes with assault. These foreign blacks, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Will assault that black woman. You know what I mean? On some real shit. There's been reports of that. It's been newscasts of that, and they don't want act like they want to talk about this in their communities because it's all about flat blackness here. But no, we got to delineate that shit and separate that. Hey, look, the person that got smacked was a Somali black woman. I think they said it happened in somewhere in Texas or whatever the case be. Who knows at this point? You know what I mean? It looks like New York's on damn where. But we ain't condoning it. But hey, if you out here doing stupid shit, that's what's gonna happen. What else we was talking about last night? Just like the karma aspect of it, like, you smacked 10 men, then your final punishment is getting smacked with a brick. That's the law of the land and shit. That's how the universe works. That shit, things you do unto others will come back tenfold on you. You feel what I'm saying? So I'll look at it that way too, though. But I don't know. I still think I would have fucking stuck up for the system. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I would have stuck up for it because I already know how I am. That shit can't happen in front of me. And I ain't saying I'm no Captain Saber whole ass nigga. I'm definitely not. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know Captain Saber's right. But I would have did something about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, as long as she didn't put her hands on him, there was no need for you to smack her with a brick. You know what I'm saying? Even though we have visuals of this lady put her hands on other men of all flavors. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a really a reap what you sow moment. And it's no allegedly, again, on these other black countries and other Latin countries and other Asian countries, especially the Asian countries, goddamn. And then obviously the white ones, we already know how the colonizers do. You know what I mean? They kill any and everybody and everything. They be stoning they people no problem. So matter of fact, back to that. So the one instance that came up about that, I forgot where that one African sister was from, overseas, where she was dancing without her hijab on, her scarf covered, on like a TikTok or some shit. Her fucking her brother came in, her husband came and beat her to death, bro. Blacked her face up and all that. So, and from what the reports were saying, that the brother of that lady, you know what I'm saying, his sister, he was okay with the shit because he said, well, she disrespected her husband and she disrespected Allah. So it's like it's a religion aspect attached to that shit too, not just a moral compass of it. You know what I mean? This is just what they do. So just to give my plan real quick. So again, I'm in New York a couple of weeks ago. Did sell my QR codes and stuff. You know what I mean? Promote social. Help. Little Spanish looking tellers, they on the back of a moped scooter, bro, and this is what they do in their country, bro. All you gotta do is look this shit up. Joker didn't even have time to pull out the strap. The Spanish dude that was trying to rob this white gringo dude, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even have a strap out, so y'all new to this shit, you know what I'm saying? There you go, right there. If you look up what's going on in New York, a lot of the crime that is being committed is by these other people. I just saw a little video. Somebody was in New York. This little Spanish joker trying to take these little black kids' bike. I don't know if they were Black American or not, but they was trying to take their bikes and shit. And, like, we ain't having that shit. We got to fight now. You know what I'm saying? So, we already know they started swinging on each other or whatever. But the Spanish, they swung first, so it was, right in the right to defend yourself. You know what I mean? Defend yourself at all costs. And obviously, there's cops everywhere around New York City. Can't go nowhere without seeing police around there. Rather be they looking at you through an olive lens, or they out there on foot patrol. So they came over real quick, broke it up, and then cop asking the black kid what's going on. Like, yo, they tried to steal my bike. You know what I'm saying? And once they figured that shit out, they locked the Spanish people up. Yo, real shit. And that's what's going on now in New York too. Y'all see all these bicycles and motorpads and motorcycles that these tethers are riding on to do like DoorDash, Instacart, and all this other shit. The police are confiscating the bikes So if these people are poor and seeking asylum, what the hell you get $5,000 from to buy a moped, a couple $1,000 from to buy an electric bicycle? You're supposed to be poor and broke. You know what I'm saying? And seeking asylum and come here with nothing. You can't afford that shit right away. How the hell did you get that new GMC truck you just got off that fucking boat the other day? You just came here with nothing yesterday. This shit ain't adding up, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when this chick, the BrickGate chick, she gets smacked and saying, "Oh, all you black men, this is why we gotta extinguish that blackness shit." Because hold on, where you from? Go ahead, on you.
Real talk, man. I'm glad you was able to go ahead and kind of catch me up to speed on that. Outside of, like I say, I've seen some stuff online. I saw a video too, what you was talking about, where she slapped a white dude, and then she took a few, she walked a few feet away from him, and then started twerking or whatever, started popping it. So
that's a fat ass. See, you ain't listen to the audio. There was somebody in the background like, damn, that's a fat ass, and she stopped right there and started twerking. Hey, Black Majority, I sent you a microphone, bro.
so yeah, it's just crazy. Let me go ahead too, and guys, for anybody coming up in the space, we talking about the young pregnant black mother that was killed. We're talking about the situation with the BrickGate, where the girl got hit upside the face with the brick. We're going to be talking about term limits tonight. There's a lot of people saying it's time to go ahead and start putting these politicians on term limits. Everybody talk about how old Mitch McConnell is and how old some of these other people are, but you got Dianne Feinstein. I think she's like 90 years old. So I mean, you got a bunch of people that's past it that really is time for them to go ahead and hang it up. So we're gonna be talking about a number of things tonight as well too. We got to touch up on this black on black uh, crime myth that they've been pumping for the longest. And by means, anybody that wants to come up here and speak tonight, go ahead and raise your hand. It doesn't matter what topic it is. You know, we'll go ahead and let you go ahead and get the microphone and speak on it as well too. I'm definitely interested to hear what some of our people got to say about the actual conversation tonight. Truth to power. Go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for allowing me on the stage. Peace to the family in the room. Peace to everybody. I want to touch on just one of the subjects. To Kiya Young, man, that shit hurt to see, man. It does. Like, she definitely did not deserve to die. I'm never one to, say someone should have just complied, because we've all seen, videos of people who did comply, and it really didn't matter. But however, I will say this, and I understand if I get some pushback for it. When you know that you're innocent, right? I think you stand a better chance when you know in your heart you didn't do anything to just inconvenience yourself and waste a little bit of your time and just try to comply. I'm not saying if she did, it just would have changed something, but I think she stood a better chance had she not, tried to just drive away like that. It's fucked up what the officer did. And to be honest, man, I fear that he may not even face any, real justice. And I am of the opinion that, these people, they're not going to stop doing that until they see that we're not scared to, put our own lives on the line. And y'all take that however y'all want to take that. I'm not going to come on anybody's platform and tell them they need to go out and, be vigilantes and, but we all know what's going on, and we can all understand when talking code like this. You feel me? They only respect force at the end of the day, and man, it's just hurt. But I really just wish maybe she would have just like got out and was like let them search the car with her. I don't know, but man, I'm hurt behind it. I'm upset behind it. You feel me? Like, every time something like that, I look at my own babies and I'm like, damn, at some point we got to stop using our kids and everything else as an excuse not to do what we know we need to do, because I'm thinking like, damn, man, what good is me being here for my kids if they got to live in fear and not know that they dad won't fucking die for their life? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it's crazy. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to touch on that. I hope I didn't talk in circles. My point is this. We can't give them any excuses to do something that they, already have in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we know that these motherfuckers got happy trigger fingers or whatnot, you can't make it that much easier for them to do it. And I'll finish with that, man. But thanks.
All right, truth. I know that I'm gonna say, and I feel what you're saying. I respectfully disagree, but I can understand what you're saying. That hey, that had maybe she taken another course of action, this wouldn't have happened. And I don't disagree with that. But at the same point in time, this person is supposed to be a trained professional. They've gone to the police academy. They've had who knows how many hundreds or thousands of hours of training as well. To and had she been somebody had been involved in some kind of violent crime and they was trying to flee the scene of the crime or something like that, she'd been placed under arrest and everything like that, then you can see, okay, maybe this cop may have an actual legit a legit thing of actually shooting into, but then you shoot into the car. Like I say, the woman, it's not like she just got through committing some kind of felony violent act. If you suspect that the woman actually something petty by stealing a bottle of liquor, I can't see how you're supposed to be a trained professional and then you go ahead and you shoot into the car. You shoot into the car like she had just robbed a Bank of America and made off with $100,000, and then she held people down gunpoint or something like that. So that's the issue that I'm having right there. And I've seen too many times in different scenarios, and I get what you're saying that of course we're judged different than anybody else, especially when you talk about white folks. But I've seen too many times. I've seen white folks throw cocktails at police officers and stuff like that, exploding cocktails and stuff like that, and still getting taken alive. I've seen cops and stuff getting into fisticuffs with criminals and still taking people alive and stuff like that. Now you have a woman and you sit up here and you shoot over a bottle of liquor that you think may be stolen, and you shoot up into the car and you kill her and you kill the actual unborn child. So that's the issue I'm having right there. I'm just trying to think, if this was another woman of another race and this and that or whatever, would this cop have actually fired into this car and shot this woman dead like that? So that's the issue, and I get what you're saying, and I understand that. Hey, had she got out and this and that, things could have been totally different. But even the fact that she didn't get out, and there are a lot of people are not cooperative with the cops, but they still don't get killed. And that's the situation. That's the issue that I'm having with that situation right there. There are a lot of people, and we heard a lot, and especially don't let a white person be drunk or high or something. They'll call that cop everything but a child of God. And that cop will sit right there and take it and try to calm him down and this and that, whatever. He ain't gonna go and pull his gun up out the holster and then boom, put one up in their chest. So that's the issue that I'm having with that situation right there. But I respect your opinion, True. So a shout out to you. Let me go ahead and get to I see my girl Sassy's up here as well too. So Sassy, how you doing tonight?
Hello, good evening, good evening. Hello, everyone, family. How y'all doing? Greetings. I'm probably going to repeat what's already been said, but this is very disheartening because Ohio police is notorious for overkill. They're notorious for overkill. A few years back, they shot 137 times a black man and a black woman that were in the car. They were already dead after the first two shots, but they fired 137 shots, and of course, killing both of them, jumping on top of the car hood, just continued to plummet them with bullets. So they did go to trial. The man got 3 years. The policeman that jumped on the car was shooting, he said he felt threatened. So they were dead after the first two shots. Ohio is notorious for gunning down overkill black Americans, right? Now, I'm believing they're going to have to do something because we're not going to stand idly by and watch our black women, men, and children be gunned down. Okay? Shame on us. Shame on us. I can't think of that saying that talks about to do nothing is worse, right? It's too much. Over now. Okay, where was the bottle of liquor? First they were saying it was about, okay, where was the bottle of liquor? But lethal force is she didn't have no gun or nothing, but they're probably going to try to say, of course, her car was a weapon. He shouldn't have even been standing in front of her car. So he intentionally wanted to gun this young lady down. Okay, it's just I'm just fed up. I'm just tired of it. I don't even live in Ohio, but it's such just sadness to have something like this to happen. Now, something else that happened that I saw trending on the internet. Just if you just give me a minute, a black man defended a black woman in a nail salon, in an Asian nail salon, because they were, bothering them or hitting them or whatever. And he told them, "You're not going to be abusing our black women," and he threw bricks through all the windows. I was glad he threw bricks, but I'm just saying all that to say it's good to see a black man come to the aid of our sisters. But it's just such disheartening. It just breaks my heart that this young lady lost her life for nothing. And if she did steal some liquor or whatever, she should have been arrested, taken in. And even if she did drive off, he shouldn't have been sitting in the car. I'm sure they had her address. Just go to her house and arrest her. This is crazy. They did, what's his name, like that too. Let's see, right after George Floyd got killed, what's the little boy, Dwight Wright, they gunned him down like that. A similar situation, right? I can't think of his name. The black guy. Well, what was it? Okay, anyway. This has got to stop. This has got to stop, and I'm sure everybody agrees. We see that the Biden administration is doing nothing. No comprehensive plans. Maybe because it's under the state that these killer cops are killing our black men and women and children. But no. I'm glad they're hitting the streets. Say let's do nothing. I don't care. We're showing our disdain towards killer cops. Okay? And so my city is paying out money for the killer cops harming the people doing the George Floyd, just firing into the crowd. So my city's paying money for harming American citizens. Yeah, so I'll land with that. And thank you for listening, and everybody have a good evening.
All right. Thank you, Sassy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go ahead, guys, real quick. And if anybody else, like I said, wants to speak on any of the topics tonight, feel free to come up here. As always, raise your hand and speak on any topic that you want to. I want to touch up on this whole black on black crime myth real quick. I want to touch up on that News One. They had an article and they were talking about this, and I thought this would be something worthwhile adding to the discussion tonight as well too. So like I said, this is from News One. It's on the Newstoter.com platform. All the articles tonight are up in the actual jumbotron on the far right hand side. For anybody that's on YouTube, the articles are also in the actual description, guys. If you're on YouTube, the articles are in the actual description, so you can get the links and go directly and read the articles if you like. Also, like I said, if you're on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment on tonight's broadcast. If anybody up in the space, the actual YouTube link is up in there. If you have not already subscribed to the Newstoter YouTube channel, go ahead and do that while the space is going. Title: Breaking Down the Stereotype Why Black on Black Crime Myth Just Isn't True. Crime is a multifaceted issue that affects communities around the world, and discussions about crime statistics can often be oversimplified or misunderstood. One such phrase has gained attention as black on black crime. The harmful trope has been perpetuated and spewed by right-wing politicians, some say to justify the over-policing of black communities across the United States, but it's a complex issue that must be viewed through a broader lens. The phrase black on black crime is used to describe instances where black individuals commit crimes against other black individuals within predominantly black neighborhoods. Crime tends to occur within close-knit communities due to geographic and social proximity. Does crime happen within black communities? Yes, but intraracial crime happens in any neighborhood where the majority is made up of a specific race or cultural background. The myth of black on black crime is harmful and dangerous. It perpetuates stereotypes and diverts attention away from addressing the root causes of crime, such as social economic disparities and lack of access to quality education and opportunities. To have a meaningful discussion about crime, it's important to consider these factors. Where does the history of black on black crime come from? The myth of black on black crime first appeared in Frederick Hoffman's popular 1986 study, Race, Traits, and Tendencies of the American Negro, using a combination of statistics, eugenic theory, and speculation. Hoffman argued that black people had issues with crime at a higher rate than any other minority groups. His theory was later dubbed the Negro problem. According to Teen Vogue, in his controversial study, Hoffman penned that the colored male only too often leads the life of a vagrant. He also alleges that black men had a greater tendency to crime than whites. Hoffman's eyebrow raising study of the black community was controversial for many reasons. Some historians claim that the German author and immigrant was a proponent of racial hierarchy and white supremacy, which may have influenced his views on the black community and his study overall. Other experts say that the statistician sheds light on social economic factors that can exacerbate crime in black communities, but Hoffman's data hasn't withstood the test of time. A report published by the Bureau of Justice Statistics in 2019 found that black offenders committed crimes against black victims at the same rate violent offenders from white communities commit crimes against white victims. Between 2014 and 2018, 62% of violent crimes carried out against white victims were white assailants. Around 70% of violent incidents committed against black victims were carried out by black offenders, according to the report. The same trend appeared to reign true for Hispanic community, albeit at a lower rate, hovering around 45%. White on white crime exists, and black on black crime seems to be perpetuated and promoted throughout mass media. Harvard Kennedy School professor Khalil Muhammad told ABC News 2020 that black on black crime myth is often used as a political talking point to excuse disproportionate incarceration rates and aggressive police policies in the black community. We certainly understand when someone makes a categorical claim about an entire group of people as a race of criminals, that is in fact a racist idea, Muhammad said. The dangerous rhetoric has led conservative politicians like Donald Trump to spread fake news about black crime statistics. In 2015, the former president tweeted a controversial graphic that claimed 97% of black people killed are killed by other black people, and that only 80% of white people killed are killed by black people. That might be a typo. I don't know if they meant to say white people. He later deleted the misleading post. It is a fallacy that led former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani to make the bold statement that white officers wouldn't have to patrol black communities if black folks weren't killing each other 75% of the time. Economic and social factors must not be ignored. Crime is a deeply complex phenomenon influenced by a variety of social, economic, and historical factors, including redlining, discriminatory policy, and unequal access to opportunities, all of which have affected black communities. These structural inequalities can create the perfect breeding ground for crime in the black community or any community for that matter. Crime is prevalent in some black communities, but what are we doing to change it? Focusing solely on black crime detracts from addressing the underlying causes of crime and perpetuates harmful stereotypes. To address these challenges effectively, we must continue comprehensive strategies to help uplift and push the black community forward. Providing quality education and access to educational resources can empower individuals to break the cycle of crime and poverty, creating economic opportunities through job training, employment programs, and small business support can uplift communities and reduce desperation-driven crime. Establishing community centers, mentorship programs, and recreational activities can help strengthen bonds between community members, which can ultimately decrease crime and violence in black communities. So we've heard for the longest about this black on black crime, and it's only one group of people that you ever hear about black on black crime. You never hear about Asian on Asian crime. You never hear about white on white crime. You never hear about Hispanic or Latino on Latino crime. Is only that phrase that's really been popularized by politicians. And I know the article said on the right, but the left also uses it as well too. So Nobody uses it more than the right, but the left also uses it as well too. But you only hear that phrase when when you're talking about black people, because let everybody tell it. No other group kills themselves, and we know based off of whoever you live next to, the community you live in. Well, that's going to be that's going to be where you have most of your issues from. If your community is predominantly black, 90% black, then yeah, the people that you're gonna have issues with, the people you're gonna get in fights with, the people that may commit crime in your neighborhood, more than likely gonna be black. Same with the white neighborhoods as well too. But for whatever reason, that is only reserved specifically for black folks. It's always that those black people, and even let's be honest, even when you hear a lot of black people say it and stuff too, when you start talking about situations going on in the country, because I have a number of people say, well, black people need to just stop killing each other. Black people just need to, what is wrong with black people? Black people don't lost their mind. Black people just, and you just sit here and you listen to it. And I'm saying this is going on in every single facet in this country, in this world. This is not just a black thing. This is just not an American thing. I don't care what nation you're in. You got crime there, and it's always been rooted. Those at the bottom of the ladder always are going to be the ones that's going to be more involved in crime. Social economic issues are something that we just constantly can't keep putting off on. DJ, go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, just run it back real quick. I'll put some information in the jumbotron surrounding BrickGate for you to catch up on. A black on black crime thing, that's a myth. Always has, always will be. So I just came out of Brother Midnight space right before I came over to yours, Newstoter. We was talking about that. So, it's a myth because we already know that the government puts a lot of that bullshit into our neighborhood: guns, drugs. They write laws and or ordinances to stop us from doing things. Yeah, we kill each other, but not in the sense of the way the white man does. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of the times when black folks killing each other is because y'all really got a problem with that other person. Usually, you know what I'm saying? It may be different from other areas that more gang infested. You feel what I'm saying? Keep it real on that. Could be different too. You know what I mean? Or you might be in an environment where it's like Philly, where it's just like our brothers and sisters just killing each other for no damn reason for the most part. You feel what I'm saying? For the most part, but we also understand too that a lot of the stuff is just pretty much white inflicted issues that cause us to have these black on black crime talking points, myths, situations. You got the white news media who will always and forever will be only displaying crime in the black face sense. You don't see white folks doing the exact same thing as far as, excuse me, let me say it like this. You don't see the white news media doing the exact same thing for white criminals. And when white people commit white on white violence, they don't post their information up. You don't see it on the news, the 10 o'clock news, 8 o'clock news, 6 o'clock news, 5 o'clock news. You don't see that. And like someone said in the other space, you might see it for 30 seconds. And after that, it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Never to be seen again because they're taking it down off the internet. But they'll leave our shit up there for days, weeks, years on end, constantly talking about this black on black crime. You got all these white folks that come into these conversations of, to Kiya Young and say she deserved it. She shouldn't have been trying to run over a cop, all this other stuff. What was she thinking? Yada, 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 yada. But y'all don't never say the same thing when y'all white folks do the exact same thing. Let's talk about that one crack account who wound up getting locked up. The police put her back in the squad car. Dumbass, she winds up getting loose. It grabs the rifle that was in front of the car, you know what I'm saying, and starts shooting at the police, nearly kill them. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, yo. What about all these white thugs that be eluding police? Come to a traffic stop, they take off for whatever reason. They don't get gunned down. And to answer old boy question from earlier, Truth P, Takaya told the officer that wasn't me. I didn't steal anything. That was them other girls. So I don't know if that was to get the police off their back to make them go look for someone else, a suspect. You know what I mean? But that it hopefully is taken into consideration. And also, where is the video of the store of a pregnant girl stealing? Particularly to Kiya Young, this lady here, the suspect, she's stealing. Where's the video? Where's the evidence of this? You see what I'm saying? It don't exist, man. So therefore, meaning this ain't nothing but another murder, another killing, you know what I mean, of one of our black folks by the hands of the race soldier. And to them, because it was caught on tape, this is what we call snuff porn. They watch this stuff over and over and jerk off to it all day long, bro. You know what I mean? So when you talk about the black on black myth, make sure when other black folks speak on the black on black myth, because I've been having this conversation come up a lot in my circles. Hey, look, what about what the government has done to us to make it even seem like we actually have a black on black crime problem, which we really don't, because most black folks live in most black communities and we go to school and work around each other and do business with each other. So it's like I don't see the grocery store owner that is black having a problem with the black person on the street. You know what I'm saying? The regular Joe. This is we talking about a very minute percent of the culture that's doing wrong and or having wrong done to them. That's all this shit really is, man. So this is why we need our own black media, our own black social sites. Come up to social soxial.com, so that way we can tell our own stories. And back to BrickGate just real quick. So you get in the jumbotron. It says homie Pete Zilla posted that one. It was about the eyewitness account of the person that was there. So for those that ain't caught up between everything that's going on over the weekend, you can catch up there. Other thing that was put up, was allegedly a post of this rotor chick that got hit with the brick, saying that she's looking for money, she poor broke, and all this other stuff. So that's something else to look at. The GoFundMe with her with the watermelon pick. That's real weird and off code. I don't know if one of her people just didn't understand, like, she don't put a pic like that up, but obviously you see this is them.
They understood. They understood.
Yeah. Well, it seemed to be a black American by the name of the person that is the hoster of the GoFundMe, Kiya Davis. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you ought to know better from that. You know what I'm saying? I got some Davises in the family. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And then obviously the one where in the grass sister posted, she wrote that they work fast over there on TikTok. So, this is one bro that's breaking down what the eyewitness dudes saw. So this is the whole argument for the delineation situation. Yeah, you could be black, but you're a black other. And that's not like a form of bigotry or anything like that, because y'all display that shit on us, black Americans, when y'all come in. You've been doing it for 35 years of my life that I've been seeing. Oh, I'm not black, I'm Haitian. Oh, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. Oh, I'm not black, I'm Congolese and all this other shit. I'm Tanzanian. You know what I mean? I'm not black, I'm African. You ain't black either, you African. You ain't American, you African. That's what they tell us. You know what I'm saying? But we're not allowed to say it back to them. So I'm wrong with that. And then, for her to sit up here and say, all black men, hey, they only distinguishing and pointing at black America in general, because these folks, like Sister Chris and Kirk was saying earlier in her law, you can't be black American 1 minute, and then when something go down and happen to you, you want to put your hijab on and say, oh no, I'm a Muslim or whatever, or I'm a Christian, or I'm from Somalia and all this other stuff. Nah, stand on your square, man. But go ahead.
No, you was cooking. I mean, not to interrupt you, but you definitely had a point there. From what folks are saying that night, she's raised $30,000 of BrickGate. The girl that got hit with the brick, she's raised something like $30,000. But they're saying like this isn't the first time, and you just mentioned it's not like the first time. I guess last year she had a GoFundMe going as well too. So it seems like she uses the GoFundMe to get some money out of a lot of things that goes on as well. And like I said, we're definitely not saying that she deserved to get hit with a brick, anything like that. But some of this stuff here too, trying to put this on all men and oh yeah, men or whatever. Nobody has, and I know you said you got the video up there, but nobody can. Men that weren't there doesn't have anything to do with that situation. So if none of us was there, I'm pretty sure most of us there, we would try to intervene and stop it. So you can't put that all, and that's another thing. Whenever something goes wrong, where one man does something, it's all men and stuff like that as well too. So you got to go get away with that finger pointing. It's all men of this and all men of that or whatever. And also, sister, you got to stop cooning around here. Like I said, you sitting up here cooning. Um, and now that cooning, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not justifying it, but your people need to go ahead and have a sit down with you and let this ain't how we got to act on here. I know you're trying to get paid, you're trying to put content out or whatever, but you can do it a whole nother way than what you're doing. I see originals up here, so I'm not going to hold it up. Before I get to your original, everybody up in the Jumbotron, the YouTube channel is up in there. I believe that's the fifth on the actual, or is it the it's in the middle. It's in the middle. So the YouTube channel, if you have not subscribed to the Newstoter YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to it. Also, for those that can support us on Cash App, $ Newstoter, $ Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. $ Newstoter. For those that do not have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. I see my man's originals up in here. Original, what's going on? How you been doing?
Hey, real quick, Original, let me say this just one last thing real quick, just to clarify something too. So again, she had a mask on, and then, shout out to Governor, even though I was already thinking it, but he said it last night. She had a mask on in the club. So how do we know her face wasn't already like that? And also, the way imagery can go nowadays digitally, it shit could be some AI generated shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I'll be looking at it. And then the other thing is too, like I said, she had a mask on in the club. So how do we know that like her injury was not like some allergic reaction to like some food or medicine or something like that, or some type of other health condition that swelled up her face like that? You feel what I'm saying? So that's another thing to think about too. But go ahead, Richard.
Yeah, peace, black power, and lineage-based reparation. I think the reason, and it's sad what happened to our sister, to Kiya, but I do believe that the reason that these things are happening is because black elected officials on the local, state, and national and federal level, it appears to me that they have taken an oath to never do anything to defend us. I don't know if you all remember, but years ago, when Miss Catherine Johnston, a 92-year-old black woman, the Atlanta police broke into her home, claiming that she was selling drugs, murdered her, and then staged the scene as if she had drugs in the house, and she shot. They shot. One of them shot. He shot himself, but the other one shot him. And when that happened, excuse my language, but this degenerate bitch, Shirley Franklin, who was the mayor of Atlanta, she came out, no investigation, no nothing. And she said that she backed those officers 1,000%. But when the people in the community started talking, saying, Miss Catherine don't come outside, Miss Catherine don't have no company, Miss Catherine don't bother nobody, and then people started saying, well, wait, hold up, what's going on over here? And once the investigation came down and saw that they murdered her, they even tried to get an informant to lie and say that that he had bought drugs from her. And he was just like, the ancestors got on him saying, you know what, you better not do this. And he didn't do it, and then later on, he got locked up. And it was because he would not participate in their lie. And that's one of the reasons. This is why it is extremely important that if there are some people running for public office that are, and if they are sincere that they're going to defend us, we have to back them, like Marcel Dixon, because this right here is just a shit. And the reason they do this, and they do it with impunity, because they know, for the most part, the black elected officials not really going to do anything, and nobody's going to push for any type of legislation, because you have some people out there saying, well, why do black people need a hate crime bill? Because we're being massacred out here. And this young lady should not have lost her life because she was accused of stealing something. He played judge, jury, and executioner on this young lady and her baby and her unborn baby. And now you got, I think she has, what, 2 boys? And now they have to grow up without their mother. You know, these people, this is their MO. They got, as I keep telling people, there are no good white people in this universe. The word good and white should never be used together, in my opinion, because there are no good white people. I'm like Sister Soldier when she was on Phil Donahue years. She said, "Who are these good white people y'all keep talking about?" She said, "Who are they?" And she had it was her and this other brother named Daruba bin Wahab. Both of them beat down that old Cornell West agent and this other guy, Tony Brown, the Tony Brown Journal. And I'm like, but I like what she said when Sister Soldier said, "Who are these good white people?" She said, "I've not seen them. You need to show them to me." And see, this is why, because we have these agents that are working to assist this system in killing us. Look, people like, and I'll just say people like Cornel West and others, they'll promote this stuff. And all Al Sharpton was do is come out and do a little protest or whatever. They're not going to do any boycotting. You all remember several years ago when black folks were going to Macy's and they were being locked up using their own debit and credit cards. And then Al Sharpton came out in a press conference with a red coat on, saying that it's okay to go in there and shop. And whose color is red? Macy's. So what he was technically saying is that, I've already got paid. Screw y'all. I'm just gonna want y'all to come in there and keep their sales up. But if black folks had boycotted Macy's during their holiday season, Macy's would have went bankrupt. They would have gone under. But no, see, we got leadership that's working for the enemy, and that's why these things keep happening, because nothing is going. They know that this so-called leadership for black people will not do anything. And as far as this woman with the brick, I don't advocate hitting, anyone, but I saw some of the videos with this lady. She was going around slapping men and stuff, and then she out here. She is all over the place. She, on one video, she was trying to say that trans women can teach women how to wear just a bunch of foolishness. And for her to say a black man hit her, no, you need to say which black man hit you. Because all this stuff about how they like to do degenerate stuff, and then when it goes, and they want to use us to say that we black Americans did it. No, that's not us. So that's why I was happy to see when people start delineating and said, no, these people are not us. Because the culture, I think you said she's Somali, the culture that they come from, see, those are Muslims over there. And it's sad to see, black people around the world, whereby they attach these, excuse my language, people, but they attach themselves to these degenerate religions. And when you look at how they operate under those religious beliefs, it's just damn insane. It's like what DJ said earlier about I saw the video where a young lady, her brother or somebody, beat the hell out of her because she didn't wear a little head rag on her head. That's the craziness of some of these religious beliefs. And like I always say, I don't mean to offend anyone. Until you can prove it factually, it's just a belief. That's all it is, and that's why I don't fool with it. But yeah, she's all over the place with this stuff, and like I said, they need to be called out. Because remember now, when Jesse Smollett did that thing in Chicago, and online, some of these Nigerians were saying when it was revealed that the two guys were Nigerian, they were like, why they got to say they're Nigerian? See, they know what they're doing, but see, they're doing it under the auspices of just being black to help the enemy destroy us. They know what they're doing. There is no way that they don't know what they're doing. And so I look at them with a side eye, like say, oh, no, I'm not going to allow you to do that. And see, this is why, and see, you never see these old broke Pan Africans call these people out. They will call us out saying that we are wrong. That's why I had to abandon the Pan African myth, because there is no, to me, because let's not forget, when Malcolm X went to Africa, told these people, we got the same problem. It's white folks. What did they do? They told Malcolm X, we got our own problem. So they've never been willing to work with us to get anything done. They will come around us after we get things rolling and want to jump on the bandwagon, but no, you're not doing that. As the saying goes, they're going to have to hold their own nuts. Because I know y'all see Akon trying to lure black people over there to a scamming trap. Nobody's going to go along with that garbage. We are at home and been here for a long time before anybody else was here. So we're at home. And as far as this, black on black myth, when people start talking that stuff to me, I always ask them, why is there crime in the white community? Why? If these people got it going on so well, and they are these so-called pious people, why is there crime in the white community? So until you can explain to me why there is any crime in the white community, I don't want to hear anything about black on black crime. And that's been proven, several years ago. There was an FBI report that came out that stated, I think it was 80% of white folks that were killed, they was killed by white folks, not black folks. And so people get in confrontation with people who live in proximity to them. You all remember this video where it was in the wintertime where these crazy white folks, they was going at it with each other, and then this one guy, it was a man and a woman, and they was going after this other guy. He went to his house and got his gun and shot and killed both of them out on the street. And they were laying out there on the street. I said, oh wow, that white on white crime is something else. But yeah, that happened. But see, people look, when it happened with white people, they look at it as just an unfortunate incident. This don't normally happen, because to let them tell it, white people don't act like that. Oh yes, you do. Yes, you do. So I just want to say, when people say black on black, and then the guy's name, you mentioned him. His name is Hoffman. So I'm wondering if he has that small hat gene, because see, that is part of the destruction of black civilization. Because see, it's kind of like what's going on with this court trial with Donald Trump. They say all kind of stuff in the media, okay, but when they go inside of the courtroom, it's a different story, and they're losing. So I see this the same way, because when you start looking at the reports, the FBI reports, a lot of this stuff get knocked down very easily. People need to understand that. And like what DJ said, if this woman was wearing governor said the woman was wearing a mask in the club, I truly believe that this is possibly a scam, and that she's using black people she's using black men to blame her whatever happened. But the one guy did say he was there and she was whatever. But I'm like, hey, it is what it is. But I don't wish violence on anyone. But at the same time, these people, they need to understand. Get your life straight. And I'm gonna land with that.
All right. Thank you, Original. Let me get to Dr. No. Dr. No, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, host, Newstoter, and the co-host. They got WPI. You know what? This stuff is just kind of wild. When it comes to BrickGate, first I want to say is that fools rush in where a wise person will enter with caution. I know a lot of guys that have lost their life coming to the defense of a lying woman. No one knows what was done prior to the incident where she supposedly got hit side where she says that some guy asked her for a number, whatever. Now she has a video camera on her phone, cell phone camera. It's out. She's recording. Why wouldn't she capture an image of the guy that supposedly hit her? Why didn't she call the police? I do not believe that woman. I hear a lot of guys who don't advocate violence. I mean, a lot of times people want to say the right things because I understand you maybe have your woman there listening or whatever. But if you're a confrontational woman, hey man, I am not going to come to your defense. You get what you get. We've seen all these videos of her slapping men, turning around, shaking her behind when she's telling somebody to kiss her behind. Hey man, if I see a woman doing that, and then she turn around and says some guy knocked upside her head, she just got knocked upside her head. No, I am not coming to your defense. I will defend a woman, but I would not defend a bitch. Now, when it comes to Kiya Young, you know, I've looked up, I think it's a few years ago, where the FBI said that there are white supremacists on the police force. These white officers don't mind taking one for the team, i.e. going to prison, to execute a black person. And another thing to think about is they are trying to push some type of race war. They're looking for some type of reaction out of black people, which I think that we should accommodate them, but that's a whole other subject. But I see these things happen all the time where some white person is totally resisting the cops, maybe have a shootout with the cops, and the cops bring them in alive, and a black person gets killed on suspicion. These black leaders, politics that we have, they refuse to speak on it. They refuse to act on it, and I just do not trust. Which comes to the thing about term limits. I believe in term limits because a lot of these black politicians need to sit down somewhere. Some of them has been in politics for over 30 years, and look at the conditions of black people, which means that they have done nothing. So why you want to continue to hang on this seat and continue to do nothing? So I believe that there should be term limits, and again, if you're not doing anything, you should step down. When it comes to black on black crime, the only time I see black on black crime, I see disrespect going on. Maybe this person might have said something disrespectful or done something disrespectful. So black people, when they get into a confrontation with somebody, that other person has done something. You don't catch black people just going off to them, going to the job, shooting everybody, going to the park, shooting everybody. And a lot of times when you hear these stories about these drive-by shootings, how do you know it was a black person? How do you know it wasn't a white person in disguise? Because they have these masks where you can buy these masks of a black person, even got the hands. So you don't know if it's a black person. Why do these people always seem to get away? That's something to look at. Because I think that these police are allowing them in and allowing them out to escape. So I don't really believe in this myth about black on black crime. People kill people that are they're saying close proximity to each other. White on white, Hispanic on Hispanic, Asian on Asian. It's just that everybody wants to put the microscope on black people to make us look bad, which goes back to the BrickGate. This woman's saying, oh, black men this and black men that, they don't support black women. Well, how can I support you when you won't allow me to support you? And you want to say disparaging thing about black men and then think I'm going to turn around and save your life. It don't happen that way, at least not in my world. I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, it's a shame that black men are saying that they won't defend this black woman. Shame on you. And thank you, Newstoter, and everybody for allowing me to speak and give my little rant for the day. But hey, people, do not put yourself in harm's way for something that you're not really abreast on, and you really don't know the whole scope and the whole deal of what's going on. Save yourself. And on that, I'll land my plane.
All right. Thank you, Dr. No. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming up here. I see I got my girl Re-Rob up here. Re-Rob, whenever you want to speak, just raise your hand. So we got Tech up here as well too. So shout out to Tech Hunter. Go ahead, Re-Rob, you got it.
Fam. I'm driving, so hopefully you guys can hear me. I just wanted to speak on first the lady and the unborn baby being shot. I've seen the clip, and there's no reason. It's like cruel and unusual punishment at this point. You know, even if somebody does steal something, that doesn't, that shouldn't mean you can take their life. If somebody calls you a nigga, you're not allowed to take their life. You know what I'm saying? To put it in perspective. So they escalated that situation like they do in almost every single situation when it's a Black person, especially a Black person by themselves. You know what I mean? And this is what's so sad to me is that they did the same thing to another lady. I think they're just taking this case to trial where he tased her 5 times in the stomach, and she was pregnant. I'm not sure if she lost her baby or not, but I remember when that happened, I was like, this is so disgusting. These people are so disgusting, and they're just not human. They just don't seem like humans. The way that they are just so okay with killing people. Like this cop, will kill a woman and go home and fuck his wife. I'm sorry for the F word, but that's what they do. They don't have a regards. Their wives at home aren't like, oh my goodness, you shot a pregnant woman and killed her. Like, no, there's none of that. There's no humanity in those homes. And as far as the brick girl, right? I was watching some of her clips too, and it seemed like she was slapping the shit out of white boys. And I feel herself for sure, you know what I'm saying, in that little scenario. But there's one thing that I do want to tell my ladies out here, especially like knowing that you could get shot or a brick tossed at you. There's a way to reject someone without causing a scene and making them feel bad, because it takes a lot for you to walk across that room and even ask, So, there's a way to say no. You don't have to be like, get out my bed, and all that stuff. You can just say, sorry, I'm in a relationship, I'm married, or I'm not dating right now. Like, you don't have to be rude. And in this climate, women are going to have to learn that. You don't have to be rude, especially to these niggas you don't know. I don't talk smack to no nigga that I don't know, because I don't know if he's at home beating his wife, beating his mama, beating anybody. Who knows, okay? I don't talk shit to white men. All right? Because I don't know if he's a beater either. So women, we just can't beat them. We can't. So we really need to figure out a way to reject them without them feeling so fucked up. And I'm not saying that her getting a brick thrown at her was okay at all. That's not okay. It's not okay for a man to beat up a woman because she rejected him. But at the same time, us women, we do need to realize that it takes a lot for a dude to do that. And we can, say no, give them a soft pass, not a hard pass, a soft pass, especially when you're outnumbered. And as far as Black men, I'm so mad she said that. Like, stop. Because saying Black men would imply that you're a Black woman, right? And that's not the case. So say your men, the men in your community, didn't protect you. But don't put that blanket ass statement out on Black men, because we know where that goes. She did it deliberately. Because if she would have said Somali men attacked me or Haitian men attacked me, she wouldn't have no money right now. So she had to throw that Black man blanket, because everybody hates Black men and Black women, so they all get their money together to give this bitch a GoFundMe, and this is the third one she had this year. It's like, so yeah, I'm really upset about the pregnant mom, the unborn baby, more so than anything. Like I said, I think it's just cruel and unusual punishment at this point. And it's like some shit way back in the day where, you got men who are still in jail from the 50s for stealing a candy bar at 6. Cruel and unusual punishment. These crimes do not match not the crimes, but these punishments don't match the crimes at all. And I feel like America's really declining, de-evolving, straight up. Like, they're de-evolving. And I'll fold my chair there. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak, Ms. Toter.
All right. Good to hear from you, sister. It's been a little minute, so glad to have you up in the space and hear from you. Let me go ahead and get to FBA Goddess. FBA Goddess, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, how everybody doing? I know y'all been having had this talk already, and y'all been talking about this a good long time before I came up. But I just want to talk about what I was thinking as far as this situation with Kiya Young. I'm glad to see that we are talking about her, because I just saw that people were focusing on a lot of other things other than what happened with our sister, and that we need to actually focus on and get some answers on, because I don't care what was done as far as stealing. Nothing justifies a bullet to that woman at all and that baby. So you didn't stealing some liquor justified you taking a life, two, not just one, but two. You took two lives. So we not only need to speak in this space, but there needs to be some more things, some accountability being done when it comes to this Black woman and her child being murdered, because that's exactly what it was, murder. That's exactly what it was. Also, as far as when it comes to this BrickGate crap, we already knew what that was. When I first looked at that video, when I hit play, when I saw her face, I already knew. I actually stopped watching it, to tell you honestly. I only started looking at it some more so I could see what the hell was being said and all that kind of stuff so I could be up on it. But when I saw her face, I already knew what it was. And everybody that's Black knew what it was also. Because as a whole, as far as Black women is concerned, we don't act that way. We are not going to be talking down to our men. We don't do that. All this stuff that she's doing and saying when it comes to Black men, we don't do that as a whole. Black women don't react and act that way. So I already knew what was up. We already know what was up. This is nothing but her trying to do a money grab, scamming, all kind of shit that they do. That's what it's about. And also to do a hit piece when it comes to Black Americans. Everybody wants to focus on what we're doing and what a Black people, period. But to me, that's what it is. You're setting it out there because some people are not on the same, level or thought pattern as we are when it comes to being Black American, knowing that everybody that's melanated does not count as far as being Black. As she said, nigga, and they're using those words that she used. Just because you use those words does not mean that you're Black. And like I said, a lot of people don't understand that, because you have melanated skin don't mean that you are Black American. Excuse me, that's something that she is trying to do. She wants everybody to look at Blackness and thinking that's what we're going to do. No, we're not doing that. That's why we are delineating from this crap, is because we are always being the fall guy for everything. We're not catch-all. We're not catching all your shit. Now, keep your own shit. You got to hold on to your own, because we're not going to continue on holding on to crap that you all do. We don't do shit like that. We don't beat our women. We don't hit our women in the face with bricks and rocks and shit of that nature. No, as a whole, Black Americans do not react that way. Now, as far as always throwing up Black on Black crime, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this bullshit. If you're saying that and you're Black, you're working for them people. That's all I can say. Because there's no way that you should ever mutter that out of your mouth. Because you should know that people kill where they live. So it's proximity. If you're around those people, who you gonna mess with? The people that are around you. I thought it's somebody that didn't understand proximity said something. I mean, Black on Black crime, you're using those white supremacist talking points when you say stuff like that when it comes to a Black person being around their Black people. Of course, there's gonna be another Black person, the same as there is Asian on Asian or whatever the case may be. It's the same thing. So we don't hear that when it comes to them killing their people. We don't hear what about Asian on Asian crime. We don't hear that. It only comes down to when it comes to Black people. But understand this, we're not going to continue on speaking negative when it comes to us. We're going to continue on speaking up for us when you're not us. So if you continue on trying to say, hey, Black man and all this and that, no ma'am. If you're not Black, keep your mouth shut. If y'all don't notice, I'm holding my mouth because I'm about to ready to say other words, colorful words, but I'm trying to, since this is recording, I'm trying not to do this so much on your platform. But anyway, if you're not Black, stay over there wherever you're from, Ethiopia, Somalia. Those are Somalian men, so speak on them. Don't speak on a Black American man, because my Black American men don't act that way. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak.
All right. Thank you, FBA Goddess. Let me say this right here. I've seen many of men. I've talked to women before myself, got some numbers, got told no. I have never seen one person in my life ever. I've never seen not one Black person in my life. And by Black, I mean Black. I mean, I'm even talking about people that were foreigners and stuff. I've never seen one person ever hit somebody for with a brick or throw something at a female because she didn't want to give them her phone number or she didn't want to give them the time of day. I have never seen that in my life. Never, ever. I've never seen a man get physical with a woman because she didn't want to talk to him. Like, hey, just the woman walks off and all of a sudden he grabs her by the head and he slings her to the ground or something. Like, I've never seen that before in my life. That's not to say it hasn't happened, but I've never seen that ever. Certainly never seen anybody pick up an object and assault a woman because, hey, she didn't want to talk to you. She didn't want to give you her phone number. Like, what in the world? Like, and Rerod and to us.
We never thought was wrong, Newstoter, because if somebody hit me in the face, are you not gonna call the ambulance or the police or something? You're gonna have some report or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I mean, if somebody picks up and just hits a woman right upside the head with a brick, do people know what a brick is? Like, if somebody hits you upside the head, if you're not knocked unconscious, if you once you come to, I'm thinking, damn well, you might well let me go ahead and call the police or this or that or whatever. So to me, that's just that. I've never even heard anything like that. You get hit upside the head with a brick or a rock or anything like that. Hell, a rock hurts. If a rock is decent enough size and somebody clocks you upside the head, that hurts. Let alone a brick. They hit you upside the head with a brick, and then you just okay. Then you sitting up here talking about what the other men didn't do or did. Listen.
She was so invested on getting that money for these GoFundMe's because because normally if somebody got hit the way she did with that big as her face is, you would be trying to go to the hospital, not turning no fucking camera on, trying to see everybody. See what they're doing to me? No, my head is come on now, I'm trying to go to the hospital. After that, yeah, if I want to tell people what happened, yeah, but not right then. You not getting no kind of help. Come on now, you already know what that is.
Yeah, like I said, I've never seen that. Like, I've never seen that. I never saw it in middle school. I never saw it in high school. I never saw it in college. I've never seen a dude just sit up here and say, you know what? Since this woman just dissed me right here, let me pick this up and just knock the hell out of her because I can. Like, I've never in my life seen that before ever.
And where were the women? Okay, like I get that there was no men around to help, but for the most part, women help. We see another woman in distress, we say something, call the police. You want me to call 911, girl? What's going on? We kind of get involved. Like, so where was the women? You mean to tell me there wasn't one woman there who was like, damn, let me call 911 for her? It's just really weird that no one helped her unless she was just showing her ass all night.
I see my girl Carolyn. She's over there on YouTube, and Carolyn says, it doesn't matter if that lady was brick, is Somalian, is still a reflection on black people worldwide. As I said, she was doing a skit. Did you see all those men who were lightly slapped? Yeah, and we've been talking about that too, Cal. I know you. I don't know if you was up in the actual space of the YouTube for a while, but they've been talking about that. She's been putting on these skits and slapping men and this and that, and then she starts popping and starts twerking and stuff like that too. So she's definitely doing a lot of stuff for attention. So we definitely we definitely
she's
been saying that.
Negative against black women, and as far as like we're trying to copy off of transgender women that we wear their makeup, all the stuff that we get is from them, our BBLs, all that kind of stuff. She's saying that black women are copying off of transgender, and we all know that she is part of the LGBTQ community. So she has a more belief that they are whatever.
Stop. Transgender women been copying black women's style and trying to be like black women for the longest. So stop the nonsense. Like, I mean, exactly. Please. The whole way they try to outdo black women and turn child. I mean, please. They try to act more feminine than actual women. So stop with the whole black women been copying. They've been around black women trying to pick up game on how to try to actually be more feminine and how to try to get men and stuff like that. So stop with the whole black women. That's nonsense. That's nobody's even trying to hear that garbage that they're talking about right there. So go ahead, Original. You got it. Original, before you go ahead, let me touch up on the term limits because I hadn't really touched up on that. We got Joe Biden, who's going to be in November 23rd is his birthday. Well, no, I shouldn't say November 23rd, but in November this year, he'll be 81 years of age. Then we got Dianne Feinstein, who is 90 years old. She is the oldest person in the Senate. She became a senator in 1992. We got, of course, Mitch McConnell, who's 81, who keeps freezing up like a deer in headlights every time he's on the damn podium now. And the thing what people talking about is a time Maxine Waters. I believe Maxine Waters has got to be about 80 herself, in her early 80s, I believe. We got a bunch of people that's in politics right now that are old. Straight up, they're old, and that's not to shame anybody about the age or whatever, but they're old, and it's time to go ahead and to pass a baton on to the next generation. You served your time. A lot of y'all hadn't done squat while you're in it, but it's time to go ahead and give it up the seat. We got Clyburn. I believe he's supposed to be retiring soon. We got a bunch of people that's in their 70s that's holding office right now that don't want to concede any kind of power. They're perfectly content staying in office. Someone want to stay in office till they die. If they can stay in office till they die, they'll be fine with it. So this, I want to touch up on this term limit, age limit, and stuff like that, because there are a lot of people, and I think they had a poll years ago. It says, and I'm not even going to read the article because I didn't broke down some articles tonight, but it says, should politicians who lead the country be exception to the law? A 2022 YouGov poll reported that 58% of Americans want a maximum age for politicians. Those who support age limits usually say that politicians holding office should be no more than 70 years old. Think about that. 58%, almost more than half of the people in this country say there should be an age limit for politicians. But peep this right here. That says that would make 71% of the current U.S. senators ineligible to hold office. Okay, so we go ahead and put an age limit of 70 years of age. 71% of these jokers would be too old to even hold office. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm not even going to go any further. I see Arinza up here. Arinza, I'm going to get to you and FBA goddess. But I'm going to just say that it's time for a term limit. We got a joker. If Joe Biden was to become president, this joker would be almost 85 years old by the time he got his old ass up out of office. Arinza, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh, yes. What I want to say, too, I'll speak on the term limit.
Well, original, real quick. Let me get to Arinza, and then I'm going to get to you.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Arinza. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. Hey, good evening, fam. This is Arinza. Contacting you from Alaska. I just wanted to say the ski mask did it for me. And I'm not buying that narrative. It almost seemed like a setup. I wish somebody had a way of accessing all the surveillance cameras, even in the back, to see if there was something that they may have prepared for before this whole thing went down. I don't buy it at all. I've been looking at it, and the whole thing sounds fishy. And the other thing is that the powers that be like to take a stab at the Black American political disposition to make us look like everybody's doing the same thing. Somalia don't think like Black Americans do in this country. We don't think the same way. They don't value women like we value women here. I don't like. I'll land my plane there. It just pisses me the fuck off because the media is using that situation as an excuse to try to define us in the eyes of people here. So I'll land my plane. Y'all attack that. I'm done.
Hey, Renzo, what you think about the term limit thing? I know you got something for that, though.
Yeah, I do. The term limit thing needs to be done. The thing is on a local level, you can actually do a petition to create term limits for these politicians. In fact, I actually helped one of my friends in Fort Myers, Florida, with the term limits petition. And the only reason it didn't come to surface is because I came back home to Alaska. But I'm thinking about going back down there. He's dead now, but I'm thinking about going back down there and doing it and putting it on the books just for him and his memory. But yeah, term limits for these bastards, because the reason why they keep people in office like Clyburn is because it's a chip for them. So if they need to get something done, that's their little, candy guy. that's where they get the money from. They need that vote. That's what they're trying to stop us. We're gonna stack the deck. So just get ready for it. It's going down. And I'll let my plane there too.
All right, appreciate that, Ariza. I see we got and I'm gonna get to Detroit, and then I'm gonna get to you, FBA guys, real quick before I get to Detroit, guys. Definitely support the independent black media, support the new black media, support all of the black media. Definitely, we definitely need your guys' contribution. For those that can donate tonight, if it's just $1 to the Cash App, like I say, just $1. We ain't trying to break the bank here. We know people got bills, got kids, got families, got everything that you can think of, rent, mortgage, car notes. But if you got $1 that you can contribute, not just to the actual Twitter space, but to the actual platform, which is Newstoter.com, the largest black-owned, black American news media curation platform today. $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Like I said, we're just asking for $1. If you got two, that's fine too. But $Newstoter, Newstoter. If you do not have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron, but definitely support black media putting out the content, and visit Newstoter.com daily to stay up to date on breaking black news in black America. Shout out to my girl Rira, as always, for supporting the platform. Thank you, Miss Rira. Let me go ahead and get to Detroit. Detroit, go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's going on, Newstoter? I appreciate it.
What's up?
Please let FBA Goddess go before me. It's fine.
Okay, all right. FBA, you want to go ahead?
Go ahead. No, he can go ahead because I already spoke, so I will go to him.
Okay, cool. Just real quick on that term limit thing. I'm in agreement for that. A lot of these cats get in that office, they old as hell, and it becomes more of a job that sometimes I don't hear about these people having children, and there's nobody to take care of them. So I think they stay in office as kind of a sideline retirement plan, because it's not really a job to them. It's just a way to get some type of, I'm getting taken care of. Like Al Sharpton. I've never seen him with a woman. I've never known him to have children. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying what I've observed. So this is more of a, I need somebody to take care of me because I'm old. And that's the way I look at some of these politicians, especially the black ones. Just my opinion on that. And as far as having a term limit, this is, again, just me speaking. I think there should be a term limit on it, just like I think that there should be a term limit on being married. I think marriage should have an expiration date, and you get it renewed like a driver's license. That's just my feeling. So if I think that about marriage, I definitely I'm in favor for that with the political structure. Also, about this chick getting hit in the face, supposedly, allegedly, if I'm being honest, first of all, I'm sorry that it happened to her. I don't think any person should be getting hit in the face, or, no man should be putting his hands on a woman. That's real beta. But if I'm being more so honest, I really don't care, because she ain't one of our women. She, that might sound messed up for me to say it, but she comes from that type of culture. So they have to deal with it. I'm going to deal with the culture and protecting the women in my culture. Even though I've been made a fool of protecting women in my culture, I had a homegirl ask me to help her move. She wanted to get away from her boyfriend. I said, no problem, I got your back. She was actually my ex-girlfriend, so we still was cool. I helped her move. It took me 2 days to help her move. A week later, I called her back and was like, hey, how things going? And she was like, yeah, I'm waiting for so-and-so to come home. I'm like, what do you mean waiting for so-and-so to come home? You moved. It was an abusive relationship. I said, you moved, and you didn't want him to know where you moved to. And she was like, well, I told him where I live at, and you know how it go. Love makes the heart do crazy things. And I didn't really mind that I helped her move, but I couldn't believe that I had actually helped her move to get away from this guy, only for her to, a week later, to tell him where she moved to. So that was kind of pointless on my part. I felt a little foolish for it too. But that's not going to stop me from still wanting to protect, the women in my culture. If I have anything else to say, I'll step back up. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, brother. Let me give a shout out real quick to Ray and Carolyn. Thank you for your contributions on Cash App. Let me go ahead and kick it to FBA Goddess. Go ahead, FBA Goddess.
All right, so time limits. I do agree with that, because, like you said, he almost 90 years old. Come on now, y'all. He too damn old to be doing any damn thing but sitting down eating some damn applesauce or something. I don't know. But not running a country? Come on now, y'all. These people are too damn old. They get in front of a damn camera and can't even fucking speak. They can't remember where the hell they are. You know, come on. No, they need, to me, I think the time as far as the age limit on being a president needs to be going down to the 20s. So that way later on the cutoff, I think it should be actually younger than 70, because to me, as far as being a president. Now, as far as being sitting, down and making decisions or whatever, when you get up to the young in age, your mind is not as sharp. You start to forget things, and you start to do a lot of things based off of how you lived back when. We are moving ahead. We need the people that are thinking ahead, not stuck back there in your old ways. We don't want them old folks. No, I don't think that should be done. Also, when it comes to protecting Black women, I believe that our Black men protect us most definitely. I am 52 years old. I have lived a long life. I've never seen it where I wasn't protected by a Black man. So I don't know what the fuck she talking about. She talking about them people she talking about. They ain't Black. So I ain't talking, them are not the Black men that I know. The Black men I know had something, well, it wouldn't nothing went down like that anyway. They wouldn't have allowed that shit to happen. But according to the men that were there, he said that he would hit her again. He would allow that to happen again because that's their culture. They allow that because they said that she was not deserving and all that. They look at her as a whole, what type of woman she is, to decide whether she is fit to be saved. Is she not? Is she a hoe or whatever the case may be? Forget that she's a woman or black, whatever the case. They don't give a damn. If she out here doing some crazy stuff, they don't care about their women. You out here by yourself, and whatever happens to you happens to you. The man said it. He was there. He said she was bothering people, and she kept bothering that man, and that's what happened. Now, as I said, I don't know no Black man, but I keep bothering the Black man. Is he going to pick up something off the ground and knock me out with it? No, he's not going to do that. Black men, I know they got demands, so they ain't got to pick shit up anyway, if we want to be honest. They don't have to pick shit up. They got demands. They ain't got to do that if they want to do that, but I'm just saying. But anyway, lastly, when it comes to protecting us, when you were speaking about, as far as helping people and in relationships, the domestic violence, the domestic relationship, trying to get involved in something like that is the most dangerous time to do that. It's for me. I think you need to assess the situation before you involve yourself in somebody's relationship if they fighting and all that kind of stuff, because it can turn around on you. And it's been several times where that person that's trying to help you ends up getting killed because they're trying to help. So Black men ain't always gonna go rushing in to try to defend because they gotta assess the situation. I don't want them to come flying in to my defense if I'm doing some fuck shit. They ain't gonna do that, and they shouldn't. Then they should assess the situation, which they do, before they put themselves in harm's way to protect a woman. So don't always holler out here, Black men, protect. If you put yourself in the middle of fuck shit, expect to get fucked up. Thank you.
All righty. You go ahead real quick. And then Detroit, you said something too that kind of caught my attention. And I never thought about it like after all these years, but has Al Sharpton ever been married? Because I've never really thought about that. Like when you said that, I'm like, that was the first time I actually ever thought about that.
He had a younger woman at one time. I don't want when he slimmed down with the bobblehead. Now he had some young one at one time, but
Okay.
I don't know who the hell want to be bobble. I don't know. Anyway.
I just because I never.
See, that's just correct.
I never really thought about him ever being married. Like I never remember ever seeing him with a wife or nothing like that as well. And does Al have any kids? Oh. Okay. Okay. I never really thought about his kids or wife, anything like that. I know that was a little off top.
I didn't know he had a cool net. I didn't know he had a cool net. I had no idea.
Nah. I guess you learned something new because I certainly never knew that. But
he had a picture on social media, said it was his grandchild. I think I commented said, "Oh, here we go. This is the next generation of agents coming out."
Oh boy. Uh, let me go ahead. JG, did you want to say anything? We ain't gonna keep the space open too much longer. See, JG's up here. Oh, maybe not. Let me go ahead. Detroit, then original, and I guess we'll be closing it out shortly, guys. So DJ, I see you got your hand up, so we'll get to you as well. Go ahead, Detroit.
Yeah, I appreciate that news, Toto. I appreciate what you said too, FBA God, is that we can't just run into a fire, burn a building like that. We do have to assess the situation. People want us to just come out with, shield and sword, cape ablazing, and come to the rescue. And they do that with everybody in the world. We just have to do that, and we can't, because we don't know if, for whatever reason, we just can't do that. So I appreciate you pointing that out. Also, this lady, Brick chick, I do send some cloud chasing there. I've seen the posts that you all have seen, GoFundMe and all this other stuff. But it's like, again, that part of their culture is that cloud chasing and getting beat up. I've seen the videos. I'm sure you all seen them circulating where men in other countries are stabbing the women and beating them. And, these are countries that they have like open slavery. I've been to the Middle East. I've been over to Saudi Arabia and Dubai, and they don't really have open slavery, but they damn near have open slavery. Beating a woman out in the middle of the street, and nobody's doing anything because that's the culture. She's the slave. She's a servant. So that's the kind of nonsense they do. And then they come over here with a whole different attitude, and it's clout chasing. I mean, these women from other countries do other goofy ass shit like put glue in their hair, gorilla glue in their hair, and then, want to get on social media and cry, and then they get doctors and stuff and attention and GoFundMe to help them. This is their culture to do goofy ass shit, and then a bunch of other stuff they do. So I hope it comes out the truth of what really happened. And I think we all know what it is, but I hope the truth comes out. I'll land.
All right. Thank you, Detroit. Let me go ahead and kick it to original. Reps, take care. I see you getting ready to sign off over there in YouTube land. So peace as always. Thank you for coming through. Go ahead, original. And then I'm gonna get the DJ.
Well, yeah, Newstoter, the one thing I forgot to say was this. Now, when you look at the image of how swollen her face was, and she was talking, if she got hit with a brick that hard, she was jacked up, that should have done some severe damage to her jaw. More than likely,
Hey, original, I'm gonna tell you what my aunt said. She got a leather face, yo.
Yeah.
My aunt be like, yo, them Africans, they got that hard skin, you know what I'm saying? Like leather and shit, you know what I'm saying? We don't got that type of skin, you know what I'm saying?
Because her jaw should have been wired shut, but she should not have been able to talk. Because if she can talk the way she's talking, this whole thing sounds suspicious. And yes, we should have term limits because all these old people and nothing against old people, but who would have said politicians should be more than 70 years old. It's time for them to get out. Because see what they do, they stifle progress. Because see, if you ever
Hey, you mumble. You sound like you're in the Matrix, original.
Am I still in the Matrix?
Okay, you clear now. Go ahead.
Okay. Doing in the background, just the sound effect of it.
Okay. But yeah, that should be turned because see, if you look at the fact that when Dr. King did what he did, him and those people, they were young people. Because the old people can't get out and do things like that, and it's the same thing in politics. These people shouldn't be over 70, 80 years old and still in politics, and that is looking like they're looking like Howdy Doody, like it's just a puppet up there, somebody pulling the string, like with Mitch McConnell, like somebody didn't pull the lever so he can speak, so he just sat up there looking, staring into space. But yeah, there should be term limits. And and this whole thing with this BrickGate, I think it's fake. I think it's made up because if she what he just said about the leather face, but if she got hit that hard, there's no way that she could be talking at this point. chalking it up is that this is an attack on Black Americans because she said a black man, and they know that she should have identified if the man was Haitian or whatever. That's how they should have been identified. So I think it's just a grip that she is grifting people, and this is why you should never, no matter what your heart tell you, when someone put up a GoFundMe, don't just go out there giving your money like that because you don't know what they have going on in our land.
All right. Thank
Well, they heard they shaped like the brick, like it went a little sideways. Look at that picture. Don't it look like it's shaped like the brick?
I think people don't know how hard a damn brick is too. Like if somebody hit you with a brick to that point where your face swell up, it's a wonder that you don't get dropped from getting hit by that brick. So it's a brick is, I mean, a brick is nothing. I mean, a brick is hard. A brick getting hit upside the head with a brick can kill you. Like, DJ, go ahead. You got it.
Hey, I just want to quote what Vams Deluxe said right here about the term limits. To make matters worse, the president of the Congressional Black Caucus lives 15 minutes away from where this young lady, Kiya Young, lost her life, and not so much as a peep. Justice and prayers to the young family in Ohio. So there you go, man.
Yeah, I actually did. I did see that post too. So yeah, that's why term limits, like I say, and then like I say, we talking about Dianne Feinstein is 90. Feinstein is 90 years old, cuz she's 90. No 90-year-old person should be in politics, period. She is 90 years old. She's been a senator for 31 years. Okay, come on. Let's be for, she was almost a senior citizen when she first got into politics, when she first became a senator. You know, so it's time for her to definitely go ahead and call it a day. Yeah, term limits are needed. And then you got somebody that, like I say, if Biden was to win, this joker be what, 84, 85 when he leaves the White House. So come on, man. I mean, everybody has their run. And then after a while, it's time to sit down. It's time for these older people in politics. If you're in your 80s, if you're in your 90s, hell, if you're in your late 70s and mid 70s either, you need to go ahead and sit down. That's just how I see it. You need to get somebody younger, sharper, somebody who's hungrier, somebody who has the energy, the drive, the passion to go ahead and actually do things. You don't at that age. At that age, especially if you're a lifelong politician, a lot of times you're already burnt out as well too. So it's time to go ahead and move it along. So let me give a shout out to everybody in the space tonight, guys. Thank you for coming out to the space. It has been a few days with the hurricane down here in Florida, but I was definitely glad to be back tonight. You guys know we will be back tomorrow night. Definitely plan it unless something changes drastically. We'll be back tomorrow night for another podcast / Twitter space. So definitely check us out. Whatever's going on in terms of news and current events, we try to stay on it as much as possible. Like I say, what you can't get in the Twitter space, visit the actual website, Newstoter.com, to stay up to date on breaking black news. You can only tweet so much content on Twitter, so to actually see it, definitely go to the actual site. If you guys, some of you guys with your browsers, make sure you go ahead and disable it, because some of your browsers won't allow you to read the entire article. And if that's the case, if you click and read more, that means that you need to disable it because your browser is not allowing you to actually read the entire article. Like I say, we will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what the space is going to be by, so we'll see. But definitely come through. Definitely like the content that you guys see, the newsworthy articles put out daily. For those that can support on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter, Venmo, PayPal up in the Jumbotron, guys. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the actual YouTube channel as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. So everybody have a good night. Peace and be safe.
Peace.